You were told the end of the world is coming. That is a lie. The end already came. The gods are not sleeping. They are dead, and no one told you. Listen carefully, because this is not a myth about the future. This is a confession about the past. The Norse did not fear the end because it was unknown. They feared it because they had already seen it, written it down, carved it into stone, sung it to their children at night, like a warning. A dead seeress was torn from her grave, dragged back from the darkness by words older than gods. The one-eyed god stood over her bones and demanded the truth. She did not want to speak. The dead prefer their silence, but the dead cannot lie to him. So she told him everything: how the sky would crack, how the sea would rise, how the gods he loved would fall, one by one, into the dark. She named it Ragnarök, the doom of the gods, the end of everything that was. And when she finished, she sank back into the earth and refused to rise again. Even the dead did not want to watch what was coming. It does not begin with fire, it begins with cold. 3 winters come, one after another, with no summer to break them. The snow never melts, the rivers freeze to the bone, the sun turns pale and weak, like a dying ember behind thick grey clouds. Men forget the warmth of their own homes. They forget the taste of harvest. They forget what green looked like. And then, they forget mercy. Brother kills brother for a scrap of bread. Fathers turn on sons. Sons bury axes in the backs of fathers. Oaths mean nothing. The old laws crumble. The world rots from the inside, long before it burns. This is how every ending really starts. Not with monsters, with men, but the true wound came earlier, long before the cold, with a single death. Balder, the brightest of all the gods, beautiful, beloved, untouchable. Every creature in every world adored him. Even the dark things paused when he smiled. His mother, mad with love, made every living thing swear never to harm him. Every stone, every beast, every blade, every fire, every water, every disease, all of them swore. She forgot only one thing: a small, soft plant growing quietly in the shadow of an oak. Mistletoe. Too young, she thought, too weak to matter. A blind god was handed a dart made from it. He threw it, as a game, as a joke, as something to fill the afternoon, and the brightest light in all the worlds went out. The laughter stopped, and nothing was ever the same again. The gods begged for him back. They could not accept it, could not sit in their golden halls and pretend the light was still there. A messenger rode all the way down into the frozen dark, to the land of the dead, past 9 worlds, past rivers of ice, past the hound that guards the gate. The queen of the dead sat on her throne, half living, half corpse, and listened. She made one promise: if every single thing in all the worlds would weep for Balder, he could return. And everything wept, every creature, every stone, every tree. The mountains wept, the oceans wept, the cold iron wept, all but one. A single old woman, sitting alone in a dark cave, refused to shed a tear. Dry eyes, cold hands, a cruel half smile in the shadows. That woman was the trickster in disguise, and so Balder stayed dead. The gods had lost their best, and they had made their worst enemy laugh. From that moment, the end was no longer a prophecy, it was a schedule. After that, the chains began to break. Deep underground, in a cavern where no light had ever reached, a monstrous wolf had been bound since birth. Bound by a magic ribbon, thin as silk and strong as fate. The gods had lied to chain him, sacrificed a hand to earn his trust, then betrayed it, and the wolf never forgot. He never stopped pulling. When the cold came, when the world grew weak enough, his bindings finally snapped. He rose. His jaws opened wide enough to touch the sky, one jaw on the earth, one jaw scraping the stars. and the sun he had chased since the first dawn of time, he finally caught. He swallowed it whole. Darkness fell like a curtain across the world. His brother took the moon. The last light gone, the sky went black. The stars fell from the heavens like burning ash, like sparks shaken from a dying fire. There was no morning after. There would never be a morning after. From the Black Sea, a ship set sail. Not a ship of wood and rope, a ship built from the fingernails and toenails of dead men. Every nail ever cut, every corpse ever left unburied, all of it shaped into one vast hull. It carried the dead and the frost giants toward the final field. At its helm stood the betrayer, free at last, grinning into the dark wind. And from the deep, where pressure crushes stone and light has never reached, the great serpent rose, the one who had circled the entire world since before the first king drew breath. Now it let go of its own tail. The seas erupted over the land, walls of black water swallowing coastlines. The mountains cracked and fell like old men in a storm. The poison of the serpent filled the air, thick and green and heavy as grief. The thunder god met it one last time. He had fought it before. He knew he could not survive this fight. He went anyway. He swung his hammer with everything he had left, every last fragment of strength, every prayer ever spoken in his name, and he killed it. The great serpent died at his feet, twitching and still. He stood there, breathing hard. He took one step away from its corpse, then another, then another. 9 steps. On the 9th, the poison reached his heart, and the strongest of the gods, the one they had prayed to through every storm and every battle, fell dead in the mud beside the thing he had killed. Then came the fire. From the burning south, and where the air itself ignites, marched a giant with a flaming sword, a sword that burns brighter than the sun that no longer exists. He crossed the shining bridge to the home of the gods. The bridge shattered beneath his feet. He raised his blade, and he set the whole world alight. Every forest, every hall, every mountain, every sea. The one-eyed father was swallowed whole by the wolf. The silent watchman and the betrayer fell together, each killing the other, like the last 2 flames burning out at once. One by one, the gods you were taught to fear died like men, not in glory, in mud and fire and poison and silence, and everything burned, all of it, every story, every prayer, every name, gone. Then, silence. The fire ran out of things to burn. The last ember went cold. The ash settled like snow over a world that no longer existed. The boiling seas grew still and black, and for a long time, there was nothing at all. No sound, no light, no memory, just the dark, waiting. But the seeress saw one more thing. She saw past the silence. From the black water, a green land rose again, slow, quiet, impossibly alive. New, clean, like the world had taken a breath and started over. Grass grew over the graves of gods. Flowers bloomed in the ash, and no god walked upon it. The sky was empty. The thrones were empty. The altars were cold. Only 2 people remained, a man and a woman, who had hidden deep inside a hollow tree while the world burned and drowned and froze and ended. They came out into the new dawn, blinking, confused, alive. They had survived everything, and they remembered nothing. Nothing of the gods, nothing of the fire, nothing of the world that was. They were starting again, from zero, in a world that should not exist. Now stop, look around you. A world risen from ash. Ruins under your feet you did not put there. An empty sky with no gods watching over it. Stories that don't quite add up. Religions built on gods who are, conspicuously, no longer present. And no one alive who can explain how we got from there to here. Sound familiar? What if Ragnarok is not a prophecy? What if it already happened? And what if we, right now, are the man and the woman who walked out of the tree? the survivors, the ones who forgot, living in the new world with no memory of the old one. The seeress named 9 worlds. We know 8 of them. The 9th, she would not speak of, not even to the one-eyed god who dragged her from her grave. She went silent. She went back under. And that silence, that one refusal, may be the most terrifying thing in all of Norse mythology. What was in that 9th world? What was so dangerous? Even a dead woman would not say its name. That is a story for next time.